Hi, my name is Isabel Bryan and my student number is 2340722 and I'm studying UAL Creative Diploma Practice in Fashion and this is my FMP project Flora. Here is my initial mood board I created for my theme. For my theme, I chose flowers and female form. I chose this theme because I had always had a fascination with the link between women and flowers, from women gifting flower bouquets to herbalism and rituals. I found the topic extremely interesting. Here is my initial research mind map and some of my blog posts. I wanted to explore all elements of the topic, but I also wanted to understand what it meant to me. So as you can see, there are so many different aspects that I looked at and went into, a lot of it being obviously symbolism, but some of the biological links as well. Here is my customer profile board for this project. This was something that was really important to me because obviously with my theme being female form, with my customer profile board, I wanted to show a variation of women and a variation of women's bodies as this is something that is extremely important to represent. And obviously, as you know, flowers are a symbol of diversity within the aspect that all flowers look different, yet they're all seen as a symbol of beauty. Here are my sketchbook pages. As flowers represent women in many ways, anatomy being one with the reproduction aspect. Also, there are fascinating similarities between women's anatomy muscle structure, which actually resembles and looks like a flower itself, which I found really interesting. Many of my sketchbook pages I created as I wanted to be a visual for this and the research that I had done. I wanted to experiment with layouts, 3D elements, and mostly lots of colour as I thought that was extremely important for this theme. For this project, as I'm specialising in marketing, I wanted to create prints, and it actually took a long time to draw the original flowers for the prints and then obviously turn them into recurring prints. But I am really happy with how they turned out. Most of my prints are just flowers. However, I did do a selection of prints with women's bodies on them and interesting text and facts about the symbolism. But I tried these on t-shirts first. I didn't particularly like the way that it looks on t-shirts, as most of my bralette designs are like ditzy, dainty prints. So I then had the idea to use those prints on tote bags, and I do actually really like the way that looks. And obviously, as my bralette prints are purely flowers, the female form element for me is the women wearing them. As I've just said, after printing on t-shirts, I had the idea to design bralettes because obviously I thought this worked extremely well with my theme. So here were the garments that I looked at. Before buying anything, I wanted to feel the material. And after feeling different materials of wireless, obviously vests and bralettes, I decided to use the fabric pointel, and I decided on this just because of the quality. It just felt like so much better quality, and it also was lightweight and just really comfortable, which again was perfect for my theme because I wanted to focus on women's comfort. So here are some of the ones that I looked at, and I obviously only purchased the pointel ones, but I purchased a vest and a cardigan which I reworked and made underwear. It made into an underwear and a tube top, and I bought two wireless bralette designs which I dyed and printed on. Here are some of my favourite designs. As you can see, I design mostly digitally, and I did this because it just allowed me to get in small details that I probably wouldn't hand sketching. It allowed me to get better detailing in my prints and make my prints clearer and obviously more symmetrical. It was also easy to use the prints and trial them on other different products like scrunchies and eye masks. After researching wireless bralette styles, because obviously they were more comfortable, I did some printing on t-shirts and vests and underwear, tote bags and scrunchies. Here are my finished garments. I am extremely happy with the outcome of my products. not only just from the appearance but from the quality and how comfortable fitting they are, as this was, like I said, a really important factor for me. My personal favourite being the eye mask, as I thought this was a unique and interesting idea, and it was also really enjoyable to make. And this was definitely my favourite idea because it really linked in with the self-care aspect I wanted to get in with the project. Here is my photo shoot inspiration mood board I created. I wanted to create this to give myself lots of inspiration, as I wanted to do a lot of different photo shoots to obviously show my garments on different bodies and different women. So on my photo shoot inspiration mood board, I wanted to include hair inspiration, makeup, styling, and props, because for this project I definitely wanted to use a lot of props, because obviously I wanted a lot of fake flowers, but I also got the idea to use things like duvets and cushions to obviously give it that like homely, like self-care but relaxed feel, because obviously my garments are comfortable and loungewear. I also had the idea to use a canopy as a prop, and I really loved this picture and all of the photography I got from that. Here are some photos from the first photo shoot that I did with my model Devon, and I absolutely adore the outcome of this photo shoot. I had lots of different imagery, lots of different photography using different props, again different sets and backdrops. For her photo shoot was the one that I used a canopy, because I wanted to use different products for different photo shoots, so I had like a really good variation of images for my magazine, so I tried to make them all a little bit different. So like I said, hers had the canopy, and I absolutely love that photo. I think it just fits my theme, and here is a model, she was so perfect for the theme. And yeah, I absolutely adore the result of this photo shoot. Here are the results from my second photo shoot with my model Abby. Something that I really wanted to focus on with the photo shoot, as my models were obviously modelling bralettes, it was really important for my models to feel comfortable and relaxed. So I worked hard on really making the atmosphere a place where they'll feel confident and relaxed, because obviously the more happy and confident the model feels, the better the photography, and less stiff and the more relaxed they are. So this was definitely a priority for me. And as you can see here and on the last slide, I also included the GIFs I created. And these GIFs I created from the photo shoots, from making the photographs into an animation, and then adding moving text and some more little doodly GIFs I created on Procreate and added in. And yeah, I think these look really effective, and I use these for marketing purposes, like using them on TikTok and Instagram as sort of like short adverts, just to promote the collection. Here is my final photo shoot that I did with my model Nana. Again, I adore this photo shoot, and for her photo shoot I used even more fake flowers as props, and she was modelling the tube top and underwear, and again I worked hard on making her feel really confident and comfortable, and she loved the photo shoot, which was super important to me as well, because again that showed that she was confident and comfortable. But here are the pictures that I used, and one thing that I really do love about these photos is I spent a long time doing Nana's hair and makeup, as I wanted to get a lot more closer shots of her, because with my other models the shots were more further away, so I wanted to get a variation from my magazine. So for her photo shoot I wanted to spend a bit more time on makeup and hair, so I could get some really close-ups for my magazine. So I spent a long time actually weaving flowers into her braids, and this looked really effective and really gorgeous. Here are my face illustrations. I started off by researching different illustrators, and I did this so I could get some insight into different illustration styles, and just to see if there was any attributes or things that I wanted to use in my own illustrations. So from this I created 3 face illustrations, heavily inspired by the illustrators themselves. I then went on to freehanding some experimentation with my own ideas. So I created these butterfly faces. I also created this scribbly, messy illustration style. And in the end, this was the style that I actually really liked. and I really liked it because, as like most fashion illustrations are typically of really skinny models with really long legs, and this is how most fashion seems to be illustrated. However, with this more scribbly illustration style, as I'd used my photo shoot images as reference pictures, my models looked realistic, and they looked realistic in such a beautiful way, and I think this really represented my theme because it was showing female form in its truest form, like its realist form. So in the end, I decided on this illustration style for my final design boards because I thought it fit so perfect with my theme, and it went alongside with my photo shoot really well, and I just thought it was a beautiful way to display my designs and my models and their bodies. Here are my final design boards. Obviously, how I've just said, these were using my scribbly illustration style that I freehanded myself originally, but I'm really happy with the outcome, and I decided to do them in a watercolour as my media. And I decided to do this as I think it worked really well with the illustration style, and even though the prints are a little bit unclear on the illustrations, I thought it was such a really good idea to use the digital version behind, so it's a really nice contrast, and you can see the illustration sketched nicely, but then you can also see like close up of how the print looks with the background. I just think this worked really well. It was such a nice contrast, and again, it was a really nice way again to show off my beautiful models. Here is the process of me creating my magazine, and also a video of me flicking through my final finished magazine. It actually took so much longer than I thought it would to create because it was my first time using InDesign, and I really wanted to experiment with text and learn all these new different things. So I spent a long time learning how to do these from scratch, and it just took a long time to keep redoing the layout because all of like my first drafts I just kept editing because it just takes a long time to find an interesting layout. So it obviously took a lot more time than I thought it would, but I'm really happy with the end result, and I'm really happy with my photo shoots because they worked so well together in the magazine, and I also used some of my research to create some interesting history pages in my magazine, and also things like a self-care page because that is important for women, and obviously I researched how self-care is important to women and for them to love their bodies, so this was something that I 100% knew I was going to include. And yeah, but I just kept going along, seeing what looks best, and this is the end result, which I'm extremely happy with. Here are my social media accounts and some of the content that I created for them. As for this project, I really wanted to focus on creating content. I researched brands and their marketing myself, and I sort of took aspects and looked at different posts that I, as a consumer, found alluring, and I wanted to take some of the ideas and just put my own style on it. So here I created different TikToks, things like day in the life and things along those lines, because as a consumer those are really interesting videos, and if it's a video you want to watch as someone marketing, it's a video you should create. So they were how I had all my ideas literally through myself and what I look for and what I find interesting. So here I also show my Instagram posts, which I wanted to show a variation, and I obviously used my photo shoot images to create GIFs, and these were again a really good piece of content for me to use.